Today we're taking a look at Port Elliot in HO scale, a brand new South Australian exhibition layout which hit the exhibition scene in 2025, built by Cooper Green. The layout is inspired by the real Port Elliot Railway Station in South Australia, but rather representing the station as it exactly appears today, it takes us back to the late 1950s and early 60s. And that choice of era is a clever one, because it allows a good mix of South Australian Railways rolling stock, with both steam and early diesel power able to appear naturally on the same layout. The real Port Elliot has a railway history that goes right back to the beginning of railways in South Australia. The original Goolwa to Port Elliot Railway opened in 1854 as a horse-drawn line, built to move goods between the Murray River port at Goolwa and the seaport at Port Elliot. That early history gives the area a much bigger story than you might expect from a quiet seaside town. Port Elliot was once intended to be a serious seaport, linking river trade with ocean shipping, but Horseshoe Bay proved too difficult and sometimes dangerous. A number of vessels were wrecked in and around the bay during the 1850s and 1860s, and a safer harbour, at Victor Harbour, eventually took over much of that role. But by the period represented here, Port Elliot had moved on from its early port ambitions. It had become more of a seaside railway town with holiday traffic, local goods, passenger trains, and that familiar South Australian branch line atmosphere. And that makes a great subject for a model, not too large, not too busy, and full of character. The layout itself measures 4.5 metres by 1.8, which gives a decent footprint for an exhibition layout while still keeping it practical to transport. Been built on a lightweight aluminium frame, designed to be portable, easy to dismantle and quick to set up at shows, like here where I caught it at the 2026 Adelaide Model Railway Exhibition. The construction is worth mentioning because exhibition layouts live very different lives to our home layouts. They have to be moved, assembled, packed down and transported again and again. The aluminium frame keeps the whole thing strong but light, which is a big advantage when taking your layout to multiple exhibitions. The trackwork is Shinohara Code 70 rail, which gives the permanent way a finer, more scale appearance. Frankly, I think Code 70 is a good choice for a layout like this because it keeps the track looking lighter, more realistic, especially against a small station scene and all the custom-built structures. Around the back is a 4-track fiddle yard, allowing different trains to be staged and swapped throughout the exhibition scene, which means that the public doesn't just see the same train over and over again. One moment you might have a small passenger working, the next a goods movement, and then perhaps a diesel or a steam locomotive appearing from the other direction. The control system is DCC, and all locomotives are fitted with decoders for smoother, more realistic operation, and in turn, much easier wiring. The station is the heart of the layout. The real Port Elliot station building has its very own heritage significance. The present station was completed in 1911 and is a timber-framed weatherboard-clad building with a corrugated iron roof. It replaced earlier station structures, and by that stage Port Elliot's railway role was increasingly about passenger traffic and tourism rather than heavy port freight of its earliest days. One of the strongest parts of the model is the way it includes the surrounding townscape, not just the railway. Many exhibition layouts focus entirely on the railway, but here the buildings near the station help place the railway in its proper settings. Most of the structures on Port Elliot are custom laser-cut buildings designed by friends of the builder. These include buildings like the Strand near the station, hotel, the Amscol General Store, the post office, the bookstore, the goods shed, the platform work. Setting blocks and surrounding details that all work together to build the atmosphere. These are the sorts of details that make people stop and look, and even if you don't know Port Elliot well, the layout immediately feels like a real place. The choice of era also gives the layout plenty of operating interest. In the late 1950s and early 60s, the South Australian Railways was going through change. Steam still had a presence, but diesel power was becoming more common. For a model railway, the transition period is always a popular one, as it allows for variety without feeling out of place. So you can have a steam haul passenger train one moment, diesel workings the next, and maybe even a rail motor. You can have older rolling stock still in use, newer equipment starting to appear, and that slightly mixed look that makes the transition era so interesting. Although the real Port Elliot line is now best known to many people through the cockle train, the origins of that name go back to locals travelling by train to Goolwa to collect cockles from the sandy beaches near the Murray River mouth. Today's Steam Ranger Heritage Railway keeps that coastal railway experience alive, running heritage steam, diesel railcar service between Goolwa, Port Elliot and Victor Harbour. That modern heritage connection makes this layout even more appealing. It's not just modelling an obscure station from the past, it's modelling a place that still has a railway identity today. From an exhibition point of view, Port Elliot also has a nice balance. It's large enough to give trains room to move, but compact enough that viewers can take in the full scene. The station, the town buildings, the fiddle yard operation, and the detailed scenic work that give people different things to notice as they watch. It's also impressive that this layout was built in roughly 10 months. And to have it in an exhibition-ready presentation is a huge effort in such a short time, and I'm sure we're all keen to see where it keeps progressing to. And a project like this is never just one person's work, and Cooper has given special thanks to the people who helped bring Port Elliot and HO scale together. With thanks to Alex and Gemma for their constant support with help with construction, Darren West for the aluminium framework and welding, James Gauchi and Richard for the Railway Hotel and Amsgold General Store, Ian Mungford for the post office, bookstore and goods shed structures, Philip Street for the platform and setting blocks, James and Keith Pennington for the scenery and weathering work, Chris Fretwell for support, assistance, ideas, construction help and shop space, and David Green for help with the skyboards, ideas for improvements and ongoing support. And they added thanks to everyone who supported the construction of the layout throughout 2025 and 2026, with positive feedback, encouragement and ideas. Port Elliot and HO scale is a great example of what can happen when a real railway location is used for inspiration, but the model is still designed to work as a practical and engaging exhibition layout. It captures the feel of a South Australian coastal railway town, gives operators plenty of variety, and of course gives the viewer a scene that feels full without being overcrowded. So I hope you've all enjoyed taking a look at Port Elliot and HO scale. And of course, if you are new here, or you're just returning and haven't yet, don't forget to be subscribed so you can keep up to date with all the videos that I have coming out frequently. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Hooroo!